To randomly work on that piece. That's your first data, at least. That's indication that you did something different. So your goal is to try to make that comfortable, and you will in a short, even before the session's out, you'll be very comfortable with that. It'll feel like a simpler swing. A lot less can go wrong if you eliminate some of that movement. It's very good. Terry, is that right?
Yeah.
It's very good, Terry. Pretty good start. Running out. Terry, I'm going to compare your swing to Grant Waite, who was a tour player during the 90s and considered at that time as having one of the best swings in golf. He's now one of the top instructors of tour players. The swing on the left is your swing at the beginning of the session before I suggested making a couple of adjustments. So let's look at that. To begin with, I'm going to look at the weight distribution between your feet at the beginning of the swing. You can see how you're set just a little bit more into the right leg than the left leg. Grant is a little bit more set up in the left leg slightly. The reason that the pros will do this is that they want to make sure that the low point of their swing is in front of the golf ball at impact. The average pro will have 85% of their weight on their left side at the moment of impact. So when they start the swing, they try to get set up in kind of a little mini impact position. Second thing the pros do at impact is they will have their hands in front of the golf ball because they want that low point of the swing to be in front of the ball so that they can hit the ball first and the ground second. You have your shaft lean. I like that. You have a little shaft lean here, just like Grant does. But your weight is a little bit more to the back foot, which does not help place the low point of your swing in front of that golf ball when you begin the swing. I'm now going to begin the backswing. I'll start with Grant, going from the 1 position to the 3 position. The 3 position is when the left arm is parallel to the ground. Now if I redraw that box, you can see how Grant has kept his weight on his left side. He has not swayed to the right. This is a stable axis golf swing, and he lets his left side be the axis in which he rotates around it. As you take your backswing to the 3 position, you sway a little bit more to the right. Not a lot, but a little bit more to the right. So your head and upper body just moves a little bit more on top of that back foot. So your low point of your swing is behind the golf ball right now. And so you've added a complexity to the golf swing. You're going to have to move your golf circle and that low point forward while you're also trying to swing around the circle. And you're going to come in and have at impact a very vertical shaft here, which will cause you to come in shallow and hit fat and thin shots. Grant will, when he gets into impact, his hands will cross in front of that golf ball, and when he hits the ball, he's going to have a shaft lean, which allows him to hit down into the golf ball. You can also see that Grant's hands at impact are right on top of his left foot. So he really gets his hands in front of the golf ball when he hits it. And if you look at where his weight is, that red line coming off his left foot is passing right through his belt buckle. So he has clearly a large percentage of his weight on his left-sided impact. You've got a little bit more weight on your left-sided impact, but not near what Grant has. So it's going to be much more difficult for you to position your low point in front of the golf ball with this weight distribution. Now let's look at your swing after you made some adjustments. On the left was the swing at the beginning of the session, and on the right was the modification of that swing where you were trying to focus a little bit more on staying on your left side at the beginning and through the backswing. Now let's compare the backswing of both of these swings. On the left was before you made changes, and you had a tendency to start a little bit on the right foot and also sway even further on the right foot when you got to the 3 position. Again, the 3 position is when the left arm is parallel to the ground. And then here's your movement, your swing movements after you worked on this a little bit, where you set up a little bit more on the left at the beginning and you stayed there much better. You're much more now on top of that left foot than you are on the swing on the left. You can see how this red line is passing right through your knee, your left hip, and the back, the shoulder and back is right leaning up against that red line like it was leaning up against a wall. Whereas with the swing on the left, your back is like this, and again, right on this swing, it's right there. You can also see how your right hip has turned around more away from your back foot. Here your right hip is right on top of your left foot. So you've done a much better job of stabilizing your axis on that left side and just rotate around it. So that's very good improvement in just one short little practice tip that I gave you. So that's excellent. So going forward, I would continue working on that stabilized backswing, stabilized axis backswing. The other thing that we added right toward the end was taking it back to the inside a little bit more and not lift the club straight up. That really helped create a shallower attack angle, and that looked really good. So continue working on that new backswing, and once you kind of own that feeling, then you can start working on some other pieces as well.